The Dover Demon. Headlights hit it, and everything stopped, as if time itself had frozen in that exact moment. Something crouched on a stone wall, staring back, unmoving and completely out of place. It wasn't an animal, not anything recognizable from the woods or roadside, and it definitely wasn't human, no matter how much your mind tried to force that explanation.
This story is based on actual documented events. In April 1977, 3 teenagers from the same small town saw the same thing. Not rumors, not secondhand stories, direct encounters they each experienced for themselves. In Dover, Massachusetts, nothing like this had ever happened before, not even close. There were no prior reports, no strange sightings, nothing that could have prepared anyone for this. A quiet town, low crime, no history of anything like this. Nothing that would even hint at something so unnatural appearing there. Until the night of April 21st, when that normal, predictable routine was suddenly broken. A single moment that would change how a few people saw that place forever. Around 10:30 p.m., William Bartlett was driving down Farm Street, just another dark stretch of road cutting through the woods. It was the kind of drive he had likely taken before without thinking twice. Then, something appeared in the headlights, stepping into view where nothing should have been. It wasn't gradual. It was just suddenly there. Fully visible and impossible to ignore. A creature, perched awkwardly on a wall, its posture unnatural and unsettling. It didn't look comfortable or balanced, like it didn't quite understand how to position its own body. Its head was massive, far too large for the rest of it to make sense, almost the size of its entire body, creating a silhouette that immediately felt wrong. No mouth, barely a nose, just eyes, dominating its face in a way that made everything else seem unfinished. Thin arms, thin legs, like it shouldn't even be able to stand, let alone move or hold itself upright in any stable way. Bartlett stopped the car, instinctively reacting without even thinking. He couldn't look away, even though every part of him probably wanted to. And then, it moved, breaking the stillness in the worst possible way. Not suddenly, not aggressively, just slowly enough to make it even more disturbing. It looked directly at him, locking eyes in a way that felt intentional, not like an animal reacting, but like something aware of being seen. He never forgot what he saw, not that night or any time after. He drew it that same night, trying to capture every detail before it could fade. Hours later, someone else saw it, in a completely different part of town. Another encounter that would match the first in ways that were impossible to dismiss. Around midnight, John Baxter was walking alone, moving through the quiet darkness without expecting anything unusual. It was just another late-night walk, until it wasn't. He saw a figure in the distance, standing out just enough to catch his attention. At first, it didn't seem threatening, just unfamiliar. At first, he thought it was just another person, someone else out late for their own reasons. But something about it didn't feel right. Then it started moving, and that assumption immediately began to fall apart. The way it shifted didn't match anything normal. Not walking, not running, something in between, like it didn't follow the usual rules of movement. Each step felt off, like it was mimicking motion instead of naturally doing it. Baxter followed it, drawn in despite the growing sense that he shouldn't.
Curiosity overrode caution, even as things became more unsettling. Like it wanted him to, almost guiding him without making a sound, as if it was aware of him the entire time. Then, suddenly, it was gone, disappearing without warning or explanation. One moment it was there, and the next, nothing. No sound, no tracks, nothing. As if it had never been there at all. No evidence left behind to prove what he had just seen. The next night, it came back, appearing again as if the previous encounters weren't enough. Another sighting that made everything harder to explain away. Abby Brabham saw it from a car, catching a clear glimpse as it moved near the roadside, close enough to recognize, but not close enough to understand. Same head, same eyes, same impossible body, matching the earlier descriptions exactly. No differences, no variations, just the same thing again. 3 witnesses, no connection. Same description, repeated independently without influence. Each account reinforcing the others. Police searched the area, taking the reports seriously enough to investigate. Flashlights cutting through the woods, looking for anything. They found nothing, not a single piece of physical evidence. No signs of disturbance, no indication that anything unusual had been there. No animal matched it, no explanation fit, no matter how much they tried to rationalize it. Everything came up short. Its body didn't make sense, not from a biological or natural standpoint. The proportions alone raised more questions than answers. Too fragile, too aware, too wrong, in ways that were hard to describe, but impossible to ignore. Something about it didn't belong. And then, after 36 hours, it vanished, just as suddenly as it had appeared. The sightings stopped completely. No more sightings. Ever. Not in that town or anywhere else connected to it. The encounters ended as abruptly as they began. Just 3 people who saw the same thing, each holding on to an experience they couldn't fully explain. Something they all agreed on, but couldn't prove. So what was the Dover demon, really? A question that still doesn't have a clear answer. Because whatever it was, it only needed 2 nights. And that was enough. Enough to leave a lasting mystery behind. And then, it was gone, leaving nothing but questions, and a story that still doesn't make sense.
Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing to my channel for more terrifying tales coming weekly. If you enjoyed this story, I have many more available in paperback worldwide on Amazon, Beyond the Campsite and Beyond the Campsite 2, A Trail Too Far.